Hello, we are here with the music team of St. Matthew's to discuss our music program. We have James Garcia, his wife Tawny Garcia, and Saul Iriegas. So welcome, and why don't we start by telling us a bit about yourselves musically. We'll start with you, James.
Well, I grew up listening to pop music on the radio, and then my parents encouraged that, a few lessons. And so they bought me my first instruments out of a pawn shop, and I just kept on learning. And then when it came time to make a decision for my career, I decided to go to college. I attended San Antonio College for 2 years and then transferred to UTSA to major in music education, and then changed my mind. I decided to go for music theory and composition. So that was a change, but I ended up getting my degree. I also met Tawny in music school in 1990.
Tawny, tell us a little bit about your musical background.
Well, music has always been part of my life. I started piano lessons when I was 8, and was always in choir, did church choir at the church, and sang in school choir, middle school, high school level. I started playing the piano at church when I was in 8th grade, and have seems like I've always played the piano at church on and off in different places. For college, I got a Bachelor of Music Studies and certified to teach kinder through 12th grade for choir.
Saul, can you tell us something a little bit about your background too?
I'd love to. I've always been an artsy kid growing up. Loved to paint, did some dancing in elementary, of course singing as well. My grandmother was able to afford my piano lessons growing up at age 10.
Wow.
And I've been playing since then. Been a staff accompanist, been a freelance accompanist for a long time, did some piano teaching, and like Tawny, I'm also a state licensed music teacher.
How do you decide, James, on your music, what you would call maybe a classical piece or a contemporary piece or something like that, in quotes?
Right, exactly, because how do you define such, right? Usually I start with whatever passages Pastor Dave sends to me and whatever vision he has for the message that's going to be for that day. Mm-hmm. And then not only for the day, but there's also like the long arching, what's going to be the overall message for the season.
Your point too about looking at the seasons, and that works in well because Pastor Dave tends to have sermon series. Mm-hmm. You know, Absolutely. So there's one theme over several weeks. Do you try to work in that too?
Yes, sometimes we'll have, whenever you have several scripture passages, you'll notice that there are 5 or 6 hymns that go really well together. And so you'll have this nice pattern of hymns through several services that have a cohesiveness to them. Mm-hmm. Same thing with contemporary songs. And often I'll ask other pastors and other music ministers, music worship ministers, I know this hymn says this particular thing really well. Do you know of a contemporary song that says that same thing? Yeah. Because some people, they're very attuned to one sort of music, and they'll receive the message best that way. Mm-hmm. So if I can get another song in a different style that will speak to another segment of the population, that's one of my overarching goals, is how do we serve as many people as possible.
Do you have any goals for the music program here?
Well, I think one goal that will make Pastor Dave happy is more guitar. But in addition to that, I just want to see if we can re-engage, because we're coming out of the pandemic, and so we're starting to attend more people are starting to attend services. So I just want people to feel comfortable to join any of the groups. You never know what's going to evolve based on the need and based on the current population of a church. Yeah. So my goal is to try to create opportunities for people, either as soloists or in a group setting, that they might want to come back or possibly join for the first time. So retention and also recruiting of new people.
Being here at St. Matthew's, how's that affected you?
Well, one thing I think about is that you always want a church family. And we've kind of bounced from church to church to church for a while. And there was one point in time where we had what felt like our tribe. And you had those people that would give you advice, parenting advice, marital advice, people that you trusted. So in coming here, it's kind of like we have refound that family tribe. And those people and those extra grandmas and aunts that are there for our children, and again, they're for us. So that's one of the things that I'm loving is that connection.
I want to add that this is the first time really in my lifetime, having played since I was 18 years old, that for a church that is, where I feel fully comfortable. I have never been in a church where I see the love of Christ in motion, in action. And I've never been able to play with such ease and comfort like I do here. And it's because everyone around me has been very accepting of who I am and what I want to do. But yes, that's one thing that's changed for me is my music seems to just flow now from my heart. And it's because of the people here. So
I think that sounds like a great place to stop the interview here. Thank you for giving us some input into the music program and your feelings. And until next time, we'll see you then.